What is up, Brasonians? Jason and I are still in our standard Athon-Aganza, where we are just building some rando standard decks and having some fun playing best 2 out of 3. They are like tribal-y or deck archetype-y, and just kind of seeing what we build. They're not necessarily going to be the most powerful, greatest decks ever, but we're just kind of giving them a go and seeing if they work or ways we can improve on them and fun things like that. Just kind of killing some time till we get some better commanders that we don't hate. And you get to listen to Batman grumble. Enjoy that. Just grumble and sneeze. Everyone loves that. So we're just kind of waiting for Jason's challenge here. I'm going to be doing my mono white life gain deck, I believe. I'm just going to double check that he has 2 more. If he only has 1 more, then I'm going to play the deck I actually enjoy playing. Oh, bless you, Batman. So we will see what that ends up being. Because I'm not entirely sure. But it'll either be, Batman, don't bark. You look like you're going to bark. Don't do it. Oh. It looks like... Oh, he's doing like the longest intro of his life. Or he forgot to challenge me. One of those. Voting for longest intro of his life. So, yeah. So either the mono white life gain deck, or I have too many decks, or this Death Touch deck that I love. So, yeah, if he doesn't have more, then because we kind of said 5 or 6, we didn't really like super commit to how many we were going to build. So yeah, I'll have to see. I think Jason's currently winning. I know he shreked me with his humans deck. This was a terrible matchup and he beat me there. This one, I think I got a game off of him. And this one, he just had a rough time of it and I think I stomped him. Because his deck didn't do what it was supposed to do. So once we get through a few more of these standard matches, then we'll kind of switch back to the brawl thing. I'm assuming Kamigawa is going to have some kind of neat commanders that we want to try. I think there's going to be a lot to build on and just kind of like new stuff in general. Who doesn't like new stuff? Alright, there's Jason's official challenge. So I will unmute him while Batman tries to eat my hand. What's up, Jason?
What's going on, Katie?
Well, just Batman's trying to eat my hand. Otherwise, nothing. How many more decks did you say you have built?
I have 2 more built for this challenge.
Okay, cool. Then
the one tonight, and then one for the next.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna save my favorite deck for the last match. I just wanted to make sure that you still had some going. I'm gonna go tap Batman on the butt.
I have. I am playing a sort of tested deck.
Oh. Mysterious.
Well, I took a very common deck and then put a Jason spin on it. Because for the most part, I am not that big of a fan of net decking.
Yeah, that's fair. I know this about you. Checks out. A little early to bother with that, so we'll just do that. Just forget that Delver's back. My dog has lost his mind.
That's fair.
He is just a ball of energy. You gonna play that sorcery that's making you hold up for, or that? Yeah, right. I'm gonna go get Booters in a second, because he's ruining my recording. I don't want you to have any of these things. Definitely don't want you to have that.
That was my next play.
I assumed. So no.
You jerk.
Sorry, retrieving the booters. Booters. Now we get to be best friends. Yeah, I'm cool with no blocks, I guess. Drawing something relevant sure would be cool.
I mean, you're currently whooping my ass.
I guess. You got a lot more cards than I do. Like, a lot.
I don't know that I have that many more.
Counting 4 more at present. Actually, 5 more, because you could play that one that costs more.
I could.
Oh. Oh. Okay. I know, Booters, I'd like to let you be on the floor, but I can't because you're being an a-hole. So now you have to hang out with me. You lost your hangout on the floor privileges. Woof.
What do you mean, woof? I gave you something to do.
Yeah. Bats, no one wants to hear you whine.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
You're right, you didn't mean to do that. Not if you were gonna do that. I do that all the time. I just window slam down a land, and then I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, Tay. Mascot exhibition's gonna hurt.
Shouldn't be too bad.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Bats, why can't you be a nice boy? Woof. Take my one cat. So hasty.
I agree.
Bats. Ow.
Yeah, that's one of my Jason twists.
I really should build a sideboard. Someday.
Currently, my sideboard is 4 cards that are all lessons.
See if I regret this decision.
Be gone, thought.
Boo. And hiss.
Ew. Ew.
Okay.
Oh, I need an answer.
I don't know what bats did, but I can't hear you at all.
I said I need an answer.
Okay. I was waiting for that divide by 0.
I didn't have it. I didn't have any other answers.
I'm gonna bop out of my Discord and come back in because apparently I can't hear Jason at all. Oh, I can't keep this hand. Am I back?
I don't know. Are you back?
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I had one piece of removal, everything else in my hand was card draw.
Ooh, yikes.
So.
I was waiting for that divide by 0 to send that guy back to my hand.
Oh, I wish.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, I don't want to commit too much to the board, because if he just shoves this back in my hand and then wrecks it, I'm going to be very sad. Like the saddest. What's in the box? Ooh, so many things. Let's make
Yeah, but
that
no
cost.
land.
Yeah. Let's make removal cost a little more. One of them, anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I'm done. Anything I would do is an instant, so. Oh, you're the worst.
Life gain decks doing life gain things.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Bats doesn't either. He's apparently on your side because he's trying to claw my face off.
Ugh.
So, not land?
Not anything good.
Okay, it looks like this is going to be the long game of stupid. Boo!
Needed something. Go ahead and reveal that. You and your silly life gain.
Yup. Really wish I had that minimus containment I pitched back. That would be cool. Can he kill me? Yes, he can. Right? Isn't Dragon's Fire any target? Man.
Nope.
Oh, I thought it was any target.
It is not.
Don't think I'm gaining enough life out of one card, but we'll see. Oh, not if you get a second one. Batman.
Remember I pitched one.
Yep.
Put that in my hand. Put that in the deck. have one dragon. Why do I have to pick it?
You have to. You have to say this dragon. Well, because you could just do 3 if you didn't want to reveal the dragon that you already have on the field.
It says, like, revealing a dragon is not even an option. It's just pick a dragon that you have in play. So my deck, if you couldn't tell, was pretty close to the standard build for the blue-red.
See, I don't play
where-
real standard, so you could have been
Well,
like,
that's
I
fair.
made this up, and I would have been like, wow, Jason, really impressive deck. You could have
I
net
mean,
decked.
it definitely has my flair. Because it's a completely different deck when they use um, Delver's Secrets,
Oh, fair.
and nobody uses the Mana Weave Dragon.
Yeah, that card seemed really cool.
All right, who's we doing first?
Mine's boring. We can do mine quick. I mean, it's just mono white life gain. It's not like there's a lot of nuance or subtlety to discuss about the deck.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You getting that Lunark veteran every game, turn 1. Ooh.
Yeah, that definitely helps. Trying to remember, we built these so long ago now. I would maybe make Dongbringer Cleric a board wipe. Getting rid of an enchantment hasn't been that relevant. And then
Fair.
I would also maybe shave a land or 2. Actually, yeah, that's what would bring this down to 60 cards. I should at least bring it down to 61, is probably just to shave a land. I know there's the 6-drop, but for the most part, that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, no. Going to 23, even 22 is probably fine.
Yeah.
If you are going to board wipes instead of the Dongbringer Clerics, I would probably cut a Minimus Containment because you need less targeted removal at that point since
Yeah.
you have the board wipe.
That's fair.
So cut a Minimus Containment and a land. So you're still at 23, and then you can put any board wipe in that you want.
Yeah, whatever. Good times. But yeah, pretty standard stuff. Spread around a bunch of +1/+1 counters, hopefully get an Indestructible Voice of the Blessed, and go to town.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No. If it had been my life gain against your life gain, that might have been fun.
Yeah, it would have been interesting, I think.
I think I actually gain more life than you do.
I think you do, actually. And,
Out of curiosity, where's your Intrepid Hero?
I just didn't put it in. I was like, it's kind of a mana sink. And kind of, I just want to be there faster, basically.
But he himself has lifelink.
This is true.
So even as a 2-drop, it's still advancing your board. Like,
Yeah, it's still something. I know. I miss like and I'm sure there's one, and I just didn't research it enough. But like your Healer Hawk, your you know what I mean? Just like a cheap lifelink flyer. And I'm sure if I looked harder into it, it exists. But otherwise, Elite Spellbinder to hopefully make your board wipes cost more. Cigar to Splendor's kind of whatever, but it does. I mean, my deck's all white, so no sense to not gain life off white spells.
so you have Charm Stray as a 1-drop lifelink that could
Yeah.
potentially grow if you find it. Olenbach Escort, which is actually real. Oh no, that has Vigilance. And then you can sacrifice it to give a creature with a 1/1 counter on it lifelink and indestructible for the turn. And then you get into 2-drops. Like Ambitious Farmhand probably wouldn't be terrible in this.
Yeah, Ambitious Farmhand would not be terrible, you're right. Not at all.
Intrepid Adversary. There's not a whole lot. You know what you did miss out on? Is Leonin War Leader.
I forget about him since he's like in but not in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's one of the Arena Forever cards.
Yeah, the evergreen cards or whatever. So like I remember he exists, but I like forget he exists. But yeah, he wouldn't be bad.
Well, especially with the core celebrants and the Lunar Arc veterans, like every time you attack, you gain 2 to 8 life.
Yeah, which is great. And then there's
Plus,
also the
they also have life link, so like
there's that
it has
2/6
potential.
cheeky win con too, where like if you get to a certain amount of life, you just win. Um,
She's not life link though. It's you gain equal to her damage.
right. But that's also an option for your mono white life gain. I definitely see that deck rolling around. And that's pretty much it. So I'll pop over to
I
yours.
wonder if you actually missed out by not taking in a second color.
I think so. Honestly, I think I said this about certainly about historic last night when I was playing to Shane. I think green white is like is particularly for historic is a much stronger life gain deck.
Um,
And black white certainly
what?
did really well for you.
Yeah. Well, through green you would get the adventurers. What the hell's his name? So it's just another creature that says whenever creatures come into play, gain life.
Oh, prosperous! You get prosperous innkeeper. You get Trellisaurus. You get to scry for what you need and get rid of those land drops you don't give a shit about late game. Um, you still get to keep your voice of the blessed. Yeah, there's just like a lot you can do with it, and then you can make fights your removal if you want.
Yeah.
Or Snakeskin Veil still in? I can't remember.
Some variant.
Yeah, so I mean, if they're trying to get rid of your Voice of the Blessed, you get to put a counter on it and make it hexproof for the turn, and then they're sad.
Well, and you could do Sereth as
Yeah,
well.
just make yeah. Oh yeah, once that's vigilant,
And
it's
then
just hexproofy for life. Yeah.
and then you can just use your snakeskin veils to keep Sereth from dying.
Yeah.
Everbreck Caretaker is also really good. At the beginning of your combat, put 2 1/1 counters on another target creature you control. It's a 6-mana 4/4 werewolf, and that becomes night. Or she herself has hexproof, and if it becomes night, it's everything has hexproof.
Cool.
And then you put 2 counters on each creature you control.
Yeah, that seems like a good thing. I'd say that's a good thing. So yeah, just kind of
There's
your
also the paladin in green white that lets you give lifelink. Hang on, let me find her again. Green white. Yeah, so you get Catilda to help you with mana. You get Trellisara. Then you can do Sigardian Paladin, which is a 4-mana 4/4, and as long as one or more 1/1 creature, as long as you put 1 or more 1/1 counter on a creature this turn, Sigardian Paladin has Trample and Lifelink, and for 3 mana you can give any creature that has a 1/1 counter Trample and Lifelink.
yeah trample lifelink Voice of the Blessed seems pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. You go out and live your best life
Yeah.
and make your do the work for yourself.
Yeah. You know what? Voice of the Blessed don't need no man. He will do what he needs to do.
But like even if you'd gone into red, you could have went with like Adult Gold Dragon and gone with some burn removal and
Well, yeah, and there's the dude too that's like your burn becomes lifelink.
Yep.
Yeah, the Lorehold guy whose name escapes me. So yeah, I think you're right. Like I think mono white, being a mono white life gain deck with this stage of cards is almost a disservice. You just want to.
yeah, I mean realistically, I think blue white's your weakest, and I show in my spirit deck I gained how much life?
Yeah, tons. Yeah. Yeah. So like there's a lot of playing around to do. You don't have to limit yourself. But you don't have to worry about being color screwed, you know?
True, but there is so much land fix at this point for standard.
Yeah,
You
you're
really have no
Gucci.
reason to not just even a second color. Like you can do 3 color, 0 issues.
Alright, I'm bopping over to yours. You have quite the mana spread. You're just spread. When you look at it like this.
Yeah. Not so much. It's a bunch of 2 drops, bunch of 4 drops that don't always cost 4.
Correct.
5 drops and 6 drops.
That
Because
don't
Alrund's
even always
Epiphany does
cost
not.
that.
Well, no, Alrund's Epiphany is 7 unless you foretell it. And
Yeah, and if you're
do
playing
not want-
7, something's gone wrong.
Yeah, kinda. But yeah, so the Delver in this for me was my spin. Pretty much everything but the Delver and the Maniform Hellkite and Burn Down the House is part of the standard blue-red
Okay.
dragon. A lot of them have actually gone to giants now.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen the Cinder. What's his face?
Yeah, but I actually I enjoyed this, and I've won lots of games off Maniform Hellkite. Just dropping that down there, kick off an Elrune's Epiphany, get in there for 7, take another turn, and then just start casting smaller spells. And it's just like, oh, look, I went from being at 2 and you at 20 to winning the game off 1 spell,
Yeah.
effectively. But I like the Delver on 1. There's 10 total creatures in this deck. So it's, if I don't find a land, realistically, I found a spell.
Yeah. Yeah, it should flip pretty easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I dig this deck. I love Goldspan Dragon. It's a great card.
And Burn Down the House, as we saw in game 1, does work.
Yep. Solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm losing this race with my 1/3/2. Clear the board.
Yeah. Begin again. Yeah, Metaform Hellkite is really good. And
It needs its own, it needs its deck. I feel like this is a deck that it works well in, but
Yeah.
not like full bore, put this in here. I want it on 4. Because at one point when I played my expressive iteration, and I only played 2 Hellkites, I exiled one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd rather have. So my option was Dragon's Fire, Maniform Hellkite, Goldspan Dragon.
Yeah, it's like, I'll take Goldspan. Yeah.
I was like, Dragon's Fire into hand, Goldspan into deck, exile Maniform.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have any mana at that point, so I was just, Goldspan wasn't going to hand.
Yeah, what am I going to do with it? Fair.
There's enough card draw in here that realistically that shouldn't happen all that often. There's 12 spells that let me dig into the deck for extra cards.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, your schwacky 2-land game that you had start off, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that last game I was holding land. It's just like, I hate this game so much.
So in game 3, before I mulliganed was 6-land Behold the Multiverse or Divide by 0, and I was just like, no, we're not going to keep this. And then it was the 2-land that I kept. And in the 7 cards were 3 Alrund's Epiphanies. That's why I was just like, yeah, I'll keep this, get rid of an Epiphany. And then found the 3rd Epiphany early, and I was just like, oh, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's like so many epiphanies. Just so many.
I like taking extra turns as much as the next guy, but this is a bit
Yeah.
ridiculous.
um, I mean, was there anything you hated? I don't see anything that like didn't really work with what you needed it to do.
Oh, and then literally my sideboard for this are cards I can get off Divide by Zero.
Yeah.
Because like if I'm land screwed, I can get environmental sciences. Um, Introduction Annihilation is okay. It's not
Yeah.
terrible, but it does the job. And then Mascot Exposition.
Yeah, it's just good.
Exhibition. It's just good.
Yeah.
But like I said in my intro, I was talking about it, and I only have one because I only own one, and this is the first time I've played it in any decks, and this is probably the only deck I'll ever play it in.
Yeah. Environmental sciences is nice for you as well because it thins. I mean,
Yeah, like me getting flooded isn't such a bad thing because I do have 12 cards in the deck that let me dig into my deck far more.
yeah.
And then I've got the Epiphanies, so like if I've got too much mana, I can just deck turns or multiple dragons or like there's a lot I can do.
Well, yeah.
So really getting flooded's not a bad thing unless I'm getting flooded with no card draw.
Right. Because, yeah, it's just like, oh, I just play more spells a turn? Oh, no. Yeah, it's not like... You're not crying about that.
I do wish I was able to fit I can't think of his name.
The day-night guy?
No. Lear.
Oh, the everything has flashback? Yeah.
Everything is flat. Yeah. I want a Lear. The only problem is that, like, really the only card I want to be able to flash back is Alrund's Epiphany, and that exiles itself upon resolution. So.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, you're gonna... Well, I guess another Dragon's Fire doesn't hurt, but...
Yeah, a little more card draw to kind of help. Burn on the house, I suppose I could do if I really need to clear again, but I've never needed.
Yeah,
like,
you just turn the corner.
Yeah, it's really just oh, you're going too fast for me. Slow down. Because realistically, once you play the first one, you were the first person to actually put pressure back on me. Out of all the games I've played with this. Well, because most people are just like, oh shit, they're playing like real board wipe. Slow down, and I'm just like, oh, here's a Delver, here's a Dragon. Like, I'm putting out more pressure than you are because you're afraid of the burn down the house that may or may not be in my hand.
Yeah. Yeah, and depending on the deck you're playing, you just can't do that. Like, I don't know. I'm definitely a baby about stuff where it's like, oh no, what if they have another board wipe? I don't want to overcommit, but also like, okay, I'm playing mono white life gain. Like,
well, you also have to commit to the point that if they have a board wipe, they're using it.
Yeah.
Because if they're not afraid of what you have on the board to use a board wipe, then you're not really hurting them.
Yeah, if you're not being scurry, yeah.
Well, and that's like, if you're playing against a counter control deck. Oh, I don't want to cast spells because they're going to counter them. Well, they're just going to find more counter spells.
Yeah, you got to get that out of their hand, my guy.
You need to get them down to like 1 or 2 cards and hope that they're not holding counter spells, and then stick something big.
Yeah, then they cry when you're like, oh, here's my big spell.
Yeah, but you got to play into it. You can't just, I don't want to do this because they might have this.
Yeah.
If you know they have it, then slow down. But if you don't know, assume it's not there.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe don't play the one card that you only have one of in the whole deck, but definitely start playing something that you can throw away.
Yeah, well, especially if you're worried about board wipes. You don't have to put out giant creatures unless that's all you have in your deck to make them use it.
Yeah.
I once had an opponent wildfire a single Llanowar elf. I didn't even have a land, so they had to sacrifice 4 of their land to kill one Llanowar elf.
Bolt the bird. That's a little extreme. but bolt the bird.
Well, he was at 1, so like he had to do it.
Oh.
He didn't have
Gross. That was probably a very feels bad for him.
Well, it was even more of a feels bad since I borrowed the deck from him. Because the deck didn't work for him.
Yeah. That's an oof.
Yeah, so that's the feel bads of the I don't really like this deck. It doesn't work that well. Oh, let me see it. Maybe, I might enjoy playing it. Oh, we have to play against each other. This ought to be fun. Look, I'm crushing you with your deck.
Yeah. Oof. Well, all right. We've got one more match.
How do we want to do a finals on this?
I don't know. I don't know if we do a finals or if we just... This dog is making me crazy. I don't know if we do a finals or if it's just like a showcase. I don't know. Because, like, it's not really we're just kind of, like, building stuff and being like, hey, this worked. Like,
Fair.
You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I'm going to crush you with this. It was just like, oh, I thought I'd see if it worked.
Well, and, like, I wouldn't say any of my decks have been, like, my blue-white worked better than I thought it would.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are, like, yeah, okay, a zombie deck works.
Yeah. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought a zombie deck works? That's crazy.
Yeah. Blue-red spells?
What?
Yeah, that's so unexpected. I think my black-white, because I've actually seen a couple of variants on Life Gain in Standard. I like my black-white, but I prefer black-white to most of the other color combinations.
Yeah. You're pretty much black-white or black-green.
For white, I think I prefer black-white just because it does a lot that green-black does. Whereas you're using black for more your removal aspects and some of your better cards that are in the two colors together, and then your whites, your board wipes if you need them. Otherwise, you got life gain. You've got some very powerful creatures in white right now. And green white's a little lacking, but on the same coin, I do enjoy my humans deck. Like, that's another deck that works way better than I would have thought on paper.
Oh my god, it was so good.
And I've beaten, like, I playtested my human deck quite a bit. And I beat a bunch of the other, tier decks that people are not decking and things like that. And I'm sure, like, I didn't net deck my zombie deck, but I've played against it, and most of the cards that are in it I would have played anyway.
Yeah.
Like, if I was to build this deck straight off with not seeing any decks, I probably would have played all those cards anyway.
Right. Still would have been like, all right. You say zombie, you say removal, you say, like, all of it makes sense.
You say you are a zombie, and you make my champion of the parish, because, like, I actually, back when Champion of the Parish was out, I built a human deck.
Mm-hmm.
Based around getting a champion early. Although we had Sun Titan then.
Oh, so good.
Well, it was so funny. Me and Greg were playing against each other, and I'd be like, attack with my Sun Titan. Return my Fiend Hunter. And he'd be like, oh, okay. And he went to go grab one of his things, and I was like, eat my Sun Titan. And he's just like, oh, damn it. Because then I was just like, Wrath of God.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I have a Sun Titan and you have no board.
Yeah, I have a wonderful thing, and you have squat.
Yeah. But because Champion of the Parish and Champion of the Perished are both so good, I'd have built decks around them anyway.
Yeah.
And been like, oh, you are powered by X. Build deck X. So the one deck that I did have built before we started all this was my Werewolf deck, and it's lackluster.
Okay. That's
If I
your
need a
final deck?
No, my
Oh.
final deck's going to be my Vampire deck.
Oh, okay.
This was just a deck that I had, and this was the deck where I was just like, oh, I don't know if I actually want to play this or something like that, and then I ended up building a different deck before we started.
The one I saved for last is a Golgari, I guess Death Touch is most of the tribal? I don't know, but so that'll be a really interesting matchup, so.
Well, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got vampires left. I didn't build Golgari at all.
That's interesting. I thought for sure you were going to build this deck, so that you didn't build this deck is really interesting. But this is probably the most fun I've had playing Standard with a deck in a while.
I wonder how close it is to that last Death Touch deck that we had built.
Well, you're going to find out next week. Bum, bum, bum.
I mean, I can just do a quick search on Death Touch and figure it out.
Yeah, a good chunk of it.
Ooh, you did lose a very key card to it.
Oh, from our old ones?
Yeah. That's really about it. You lost the... Whenever you attack with a Death Touch creature.
Oh, the Blight Fang?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good card.
That's really the only card that you lost, but you definitely got cards that come close.
Yeah. And I put... There's some other stuff with it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I have faith in you.
Alright, Bressonians.
Oh, Blightfang with Sereth would have been ridiculous.
It would have been so stupid, right? I might build
Although I don't know that
a historic one.
It would have triggered. Actually, now that I'm reading Sereth, because it says tapped creatures have Death Touch.
So declaring
But
them as
they're not
attackers wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, they're not tapped when you declare them as an attacker.
I suppose that's true. Alright, Bressonians, like, share, subscribe if you want to see more of this content. Make sure you join us next week to see our last pre-built standard. Let us know if you're digging that, because we can kind of keep doing that, or our bad rare challenges, or that kind of thing. As always,
bad rare challenge.
yeah, bad rare challenge is always good.
We should do that instead. Like, we don't need to do a finals, but we should definitely do a bad rare.
Yeah, I'll put that out in the Discord. Be like, hey guys, we want to do a bad rare challenge. Give us your bad rares.
Throw that up on. Should have Shane throw that up on Facebook too.
Yeah.
We're looking for actually bad rares,
Yeah.
not situationally bad rares.
Yeah. Just what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Bring out your dead kind of bad rares.
Well, the problem is like the last time that we put out that challenge, Moy was throwing out bad cards for standard, but
Yeah.
are good in vintage or has
Yeah.
commander, or, because they actually take all those into consideration now. So there's a lot less just terrible rares.
Yeah, that's more just, it's
And
bad
more
for
of-
this.
Yeah, and I want just terrible rares because I that's one of the things I used to enjoy with Paper Magic all the time was just everybody, oh, this rare is terrible. Let me show you how you're wrong.
Let me show you what you're doing wrong, Billy.
Some of them need specific decks, but they're not that hard to build and still be a very good deck that is just enhanced by having this card in it.
Right.
Some of the cards, though, even some of the ones that we did. Well, because also, do you remember he said Blood in the Snow?
Yeah, when we were like,
That,
it's good.
yeah, as soon as we played it, we were just like, well, this card's not terrible at all. And then it went from a bad rare to like the sleeper for the set.
Yeah, true story. I assume because everybody saw our video.
Well, clearly it's because they saw our video and how well that went, and not just because people realized that black removal that lets you bring stuff back is good.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely our video.
Clearly.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. We really always appreciate the love and support. We have a lot of fun making these videos, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Good night.